Now let's learn Section 3. Let's take a look at the finished product. Section 3 consists of Motif 2. Motif 3. The inner edging, sewing, and the outer edging. Start by crocheting Motif 2. Then move on to crochet Motif 3, and join it with Motif 2. After that, crochet the inner edging. After completing it, sew it together with Section 2. Finally, crochet the outer edging. First, let's learn Motif 2. Start with the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. While crocheting, you need to add corner triangles in 3 places. Finally, add some decorations. The new stitch techniques used include back post single crochet, back post double crochet, and the DC3 popcorn stitch. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. The beginning chain and the first round are similar to the first round of Motif 1. Note that you don't need to tighten the last slip stitch, corresponding to the position of the beginning chain. I have already crocheted this part in advance. We will consider the side with clearer texture as the right side of the piece. Now, let's crochet the second round. Join the yarn at the front loop of the chain corresponding to the beginning chain. Place a stitch marker on the back loop for marking. First, work on the front loop of the left stitch. Work 2 half double crochets and 1 double crochet. In the front loop on the left side, work 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. Work 1 slip stitch in the front loop on the left side. No need to tighten it. Consider the part we have already crocheted as one group. This round involves repeating this group. Continue crocheting by referring to the pattern. For the last group, work the final slip stitch at the joining position. Cut the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. Let's complete it. This completes the second round. Now, move on to the third round. Join the yarn at the small horizontal bar to the left of the stitch marker. Start with 1 chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. Chain 4. Skip 2 stitches. Pick up the small horizontal bar and work 1 single crochet. Chain 4. Work single crochets with an interval of 2 stitches. Use the method of chaining 4 as a transition between them. Complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Do not cut the yarn. This completes the third round. Remove the stitch marker. Continue to the fourth round. Start with a slip stitch in the chain space on the left side for the transition. Begin with 1 chain. Work 1 single crochet in the chain space. Secure the yarn tail at the same time. Work 1 half double crochet. Work 4 double crochets. Work 1 half double crochet. And work 1 single crochet. Continue working the stitch pattern in the chain spaces. Complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch in the starting single crochet. Cut the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. Everyone finish it up. This completes the fourth round. Now, let's work the fifth round. Find the middle position between the 4 double crochets from the previous round. Pick up the chain stitch below from behind to join the yarn. Make 1 beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. Work 4 chains. Then, work into the third round single crochet on the left side. Work 1 back post single crochet. Insert the hook from behind, and come out on the right side of the single crochet. Insert on the left side. Work 1 single crochet. The back post single crochet is completed. Continue with 4 chains. We will treat the stitches we have worked as one group. Continue to work another group. First, find the middle position between the 4 double crochets on the left side. Pick up the chain braid, and work 1 single crochet. Four chain stitches. Continue with 1 back post single crochet, in the single crochet of the third round. Insert the hook from behind, and come out on the right side of the single crochet. Insert on the left side. Work 1 single crochet. The back post single crochet is completed. Continue with 4 chain stitches. This round consists of repeating this group. Continue to crochet the entire round. Finish with a slip stitch. Don't cut the yarn. The 5th round is now completed. Move on to the 6th round. Start with a slip stitch in the left chain space for transition. Make 1 chain stitch. Work 1 single crochet in the chain space. Work 1 half double crochet. Work 2 double crochets. Work 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet. This round involves working this stitch pattern in the chain spaces. Refer to the chart to complete this round. End with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. Secure the end. This completes the 6th round. Now move on to the 7th round. Take the corresponding yarn. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Place it on the crochet hook. Adjust the loop size. For a nicer texture, do not make a beginning chain. Start crocheting directly. Begin with 1 back post double crochet. Yarn over once. You can press the yarn with your finger. Insert the hook from the right side of the yarn tail on the previous round. Come out on the right side behind the 5th round's back post single crochet. Insert on the left side. Pick up the entire back post double crochet. Work 1 double crochet. The back post double crochet is completed. The V-shaped loop formed on the top right is its stitch. Then chain 5 as a transition. Next, in the left side of the single crochet from the 5th round. Work 1 back post double crochet, yarn over. Come out on the right side of the single crochet. Insert on the left side. Work 1 double crochet. Another back post double crochet is completed. Then chain 5 as a transition. This round involves working back post double crochets into the back post single crochets from the 5th round, and corresponding double crochets into the single crochets, with a chain 5 transition between each. Repeat this process to complete this round. After completing all of this round, finish with a slip stitch in the starting stitch. Do not cut the yarn. This completes the 7th round. Now move on to the 8th round. Start with a slip stitch in the left chain space for the transition. Make 1 beginning chain. Work 6 single crochets in the same space. Continue working 6 single crochets in each chain space. Complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. This completes the 8th round. Continue with the 9th round. At the left side of the yarn tail from the previous round. Join the yarn on the 4th single crochet of the group of 6. Make 1 beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. Chain 4. Then, in the previous insertion point, work 1 incomplete treble crochet, skip 2 stitches to the left, and work 1 incomplete double crochet. Continue to skip 2 stitches and work 1 incomplete treble crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through all the loops in once. We will treat this stitch as a cluster pattern. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Continue with 4 chain stitches. Work 1 single crochet in this insertion point on the left. Continue with 4 more chain stitches. Then work 1 cluster pattern. First, in the same insertion point as before, work 1 incomplete treble crochet. On the left, skip 2 stitches and work 1 incomplete treble crochet. Continue to skip 2 stitches and work 1 incomplete treble crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through all the loops in once. The cluster pattern is completed. Continue with 4 chain stitches. This round consists of alternating single crochets and cluster patterns, with 4 chain stitches as transitions between them. Note that the insertion point for the single crochet and the adjacent cluster pattern is in the same spot. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing the final 4 chain stitches, end with a slip stitch in the starting single crochet. Cut the yarn. This completes the 9th round. Now, move on to the 10th round. At the left side of where the previous round's yarn was cut, join the yarn in any cluster pattern stitch. Make 1 chain stitch. Work 1 single crochet. Two chain stitches. Work 1 double crochet in the left single crochet. Three chain stitches. And 1 double crochet. We will treat the stitches worked in the same position as one cluster. This round alternates between single crochets and clusters, with a transition of 2 chain stitches between them. Refer to the chart to complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Do not cut the yarn. This completes the 10th round. Continue with round 11. Start with 1 chain stitch. Work 1 single crochet into the single crochet below. On the left side, work 2 single crochets into the chain space. Work 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Work 3 single crochets into the next chain space. Follow this method to work the corresponding single crochets. Complete this round. Pay attention to the stitch positions and don't miss any stitches. Finish with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. This completes round 11. Move on to round 12. Join the yarn in the insertion point, where the previous round ended with a slip stitch. Start with 3 chain stitches. Skip 2 stitches. Work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Work 2 chain stitches and 1 double crochet. We will treat the stitches worked into the same stitch as one cluster. Continue to work one cluster, skipping 2 stitches between each cluster. Continue working one cluster every 2 stitches. Keep going until you have 4 stitches left. When you reach the corresponding position, work 1 double crochet into the stitch on the left side, skipping 2 stitches first. Then make 2 chain stitches in the same position below. And at the joining point, work 1 double crochet decrease. After completing it, make 2 chain stitches. Join with a slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain to finish. Cut the yarn. This completes round 12. Now, let's work on round 13. Start by joining the yarn in the chain space, where the previous round ended. On the right side chain space, join the yarn. Make 1 chain stitch. Work 1 single crochet. Then work 1 single crochet into the insertion point of the slip stitch. Continue picking up stitches and working 1 single crochet. Work 1 single crochet into the chain space. Continue working single crochets correspondingly using this method. Work the entire round. Finish with a slip stitch. Don't cut the yarn. This completes round 13. Now, let's continue to round 14. Start with 3 chain stitches in the second to last chain from the hook. Pick up the back loop and work 1 slip stitch. No need to pull tight. Work 1 more chain stitch. Skip 1 stitch below. That is, skip the stitch at the slip stitch insertion point. Skip the stitch on the left side. Work 1 slip stitch in the next stitch. We will treat the completed stitches as one group. Continue and work another group. Start with 3 chain stitches. In the second to last chain from the hook, pick up the back loop and work 1 slip stitch. No need to tighten. Work 1 more chain stitch. Skip 1 stitch below. Work 1 slip stitch. This round consists of repeating this group. Continue to complete this round. For the last slip stitch of the final group, work it into the slip stitch join spot from the previous round. This completes round 14. Move on to round 15. Start on the left side chain. Pick up a half loop and work 1 slip stitch for transition. Slightly enlarge the loop at the top on the left side. Pick up the 2 crossing threads and work 1 slip stitch for transition. Then work 6 chain stitches. Skip a group of stitches. At the tip of the next group of stitches, pick up the 2 crossing threads. Work 1 slip stitch. Continue with 6 chain stitches for transition. Skip a group of stitches. Work a slip stitch at the tip of the next group of stitches. For this round, follow this method. Alternate groups with slip stitches, and 6 chain stitches for transition in between. Continue to work the entire round. Work the last slip stitch into the starting insertion point. This completes round 15. Continue with round 16. Start by working 1 slip stitch in the left chain space for transition. Make 1 chain to begin. Work 6 single crochets in the same space. Continue in each chain space, working 6 single crochets in each. Finish this round. End with a slip stitch. Do not cut the yarn. This completes round 16. Next, crochet the corner triangles. First, determine the corner positions. Locate the yarn tail position in the second chain space from the left of the yarn tail. Place a marker in the first single crochet. The area from the yarn tail to the marker is the first corner triangle. Count 5 chain spaces to the left from the marker. And place another marker in the first single crochet. Place a marker in the first single crochet of the next chain space. This marks the second corner triangle position. Continue to the left using the same method to find the third corner triangle position. Make the mark. That concludes the explanation of the corner positions. Now, let's crochet the first corner triangle. Pick up where we left off with the yarn. Start with the first row. Begin with 1 chain stitch. Then, in the middle single crochet of the 5 single crochets on the left. Work 5 double crochets into the same stitch. Chain 1 as a transition. After completing, crochet 1 chain stitch. Join with a slip stitch at the marked position on the left side. The first row is now completed. Continue to the second row. Start with 1 chain stitch. Slip stitch in the position 1 stitch apart on the left side. You can remove the stitch marker. Continue with 2 chain stitches. Slip stitch in the position 2 stitches apart. Crochet 2 more chain stitches. Turn the work over. In the first chain space from the beginning, which is the second to last chain space. Crochet 1 DC2 bobble stitch. Chain 2. Continue in the next 3 chain spaces of the first row. And crochet 1 DC2 bobble stitch in each. Chain 2 as a transition between each. After completing, crochet 2 chain stitches. In the left stitch, crochet 1 DC2 bobble stitch. Continue in the next chain space on the left side. And crochet 1 DC2 bobble stitch. Chain 2 as a transition between these stitches. After completing, move to the position 1 stitch apart on the left side. And crochet 1 DC2 bobble stitch. Chain 2. Skip 2 stitches on the left side. Join with a slip stitch in the left stitch. Cut the yarn. The second row is now completed. The first corner triangle is also finished. For the remaining 2 corner triangles, the crochet method is the same. Pay attention to joining the yarn at the marked position, on the right side to start. Then continue crocheting. Finally, cut the yarn for each one. You can remove the stitch markers after completing them. Everyone should refer to the pattern to complete this. That concludes the explanation of the corner triangles. Finally, work round 17. Place the right side of the fabric piece facing up. Locate the first corner position. Join the yarn in the central DC2 bobble stitch. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. In the left chain space and stitch. Make 1 double crochet in each. Weave in the ends together. After completing this, in the empty single crochet positions, work a double crochet correspondingly in each. At the next corner position, continue to make 1 double crochet in each chain space and stitch. Make 1 double crochet in each. Continue to weave in the ends. In the middle DC2 bobble stitch, work 1 double crochet. Then, 2 chains and 1 double crochet. We will treat these 2 chains as 1 corner for this round. The continuous double crochets form a straight edge. Continue to work a straight edge. For the corner, use the same crochet technique as before. After completing the corner, work on the curved edge next. Start by making 1 double crochet in the same stitch below. Continue to pick up chain spaces and stitches, making 1 double crochet in each. When you reach the single crochet positions, work double crochets correspondingly. Continue working in chain spaces and stitch positions. Make 1 double crochet in each. At the starting joining position, make 1 double crochet. The curved edge is now complete. Finally, work 2 chain stitches. Finish with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. Tidy up a bit. You can check the stitch count for each edge. This completes round 17. Next, we'll work on the decorations. Start with the leaves. Take the corresponding yarn. First, make 8 chain stitches. Begin from the second to last chain stitch. Pick up the top half loop of the chain. Work 1 slip stitch correspondingly. The slip stitch doesn't need to be tightened. Make 2 single crochets. Continue with 7 chain stitches. Start from the second to last stitch. Pick up the half loop and work 1 slip stitch correspondingly. Make 2 single crochets. Continue with 4 chain stitches. Start from the second to last stitch. Work 3 slip stitches correspondingly. Then, on the previous single crochet, work 1 slip stitch into the chain stitch on the left side. Continue with 4 chain stitches. Start from the second to last stitch. Work 1 slip stitch correspondingly. And make 2 single crochets. Then, in the same chain stitch on the left side, that has already been slip stitched, work another 1 slip stitch. Continue underneath on the next 2 chain stitches, working 1 slip stitch into each. Work 1 slip stitch into the chain stitch to the left of the bottom single crochet. Continue with 4 chain stitches. Start from the second to last chain stitch. Work 1 slip stitch and 2 single crochets. Continue by working another slip stitch in the same position that was previously slip stitched. Next, work 3 slip stitches into the starting chain stitch. Finally, leave a tail of about 30 centimeters and fasten off the yarn. This completes the leaf. We will use the side with the clearer texture as the right side. Move on to crocheting the flower. Place the leaf with the right side facing up at the very top of the leaf. Pick up the 2 crossing strands to join the yarn. Start with 3 chain stitches. Work a DC3 popcorn stitch in the same position. First, work 3 double crochets. Then insert the hook into the first stitch. Draw the loop through. Secure with 1 chain stitch. The DC3 popcorn stitch is now complete. Continue with 3 more chain stitches. Work a slip stitch in the same position below. Slightly tighten. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Work a DC3 popcorn stitch. Three chain stitches. Work a slip stitch in the same position below. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Work a DC3 popcorn stitch. Three chain stitches. Work a slip stitch in the same position below. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters and fasten off the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. Weave in the short yarn tail below as well. Finish it up. This completes the flower. One decoration is now complete. Finally, sew the decoration onto the motif. Take a look at the finished product. There are a total of 3 decorations, corresponding to 3 corner triangles. The middle of the first row of the flower should match with the middle position of the corner triangle. The bottom of the leaves should correspond to above the cluster pattern in the 9th round. Let me demonstrate the specific sewing method. First, secure the decoration in the corresponding position using a stitch marker. Also, fix the tip of the leaf. Pay attention to the cluster pattern below. It is slightly angled relative to the corner triangle. This is normal. Thread the reserved yarn tail through the sewing needle. Sew by picking up the fabric from below. Make sure to carry the yarn through the decoration. Ensure that no sewing traces show on the surface. If there is a noticeable hole in the middle of the leaf, you can sew it slightly. Pay attention to adjusting the fabric as you go, to prevent puckering. After completing, tie off and weave in the ends neatly. This will secure one decoration. Attach the remaining decorations using the same method. Complete them all. This concludes the explanation for Motif 2. Follow the same method for the other Motif 2s. Next, let's learn Motif 3. Take a look at the finished product. Motif 3 starts with an adjustable magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. You will need to switch colors while crocheting. First, crochet the first 3 rounds. In the last round, crochet and join as you go. This forms a frame. When joining, pay attention to maintaining symmetry with 2 different color schemes for Motif 3. The new stitch technique used is the DC5 bobble. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, let's crochet the first Motif 3. Start with a magic ring for casting on. Crochet 1 special DC5 bobble. Begin with 2 chain stitches. In the magic ring, make 4 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over and draw through all the loops in once. 1 special DC5 bobble is completed. The loop on the upper right is the stitch marker. Move on to 5 chain stitches as a transition. In the magic ring, crochet 1 more DC5 bobble. Start with 5 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over and draw through all the loops in once. The DC5 bobble is completed. Continue with 5 chain stitches. Below, crochet 2 more DC5 bobble, with 5 chain stitches as a transition between them. After completing, add 5 more chain stitches. Close the magic ring. Tidy up. And finish with a slip stitch in the starting stitch. Cut the yarn. This completes the first round. We will use the side with the clearer texture as the right side. Now, move on to the second round. Take the corresponding yarn. Join the yarn in the chain space on the left side of the yarn tail. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Crochet 1 single crochet in the chain space. Weave in the yarn tail from the back as you go. Make 1 half double crochet. Make 3 double crochets. Create 1 CH3 picket. Continue with 2 more double crochets. Make 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet. Make 1 chain for transition. Consider the stitches we have just worked as one group. This round consists of repeating this group. Continue to complete this round. This section omits the repeated part. After completing the last chain stitch, end with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. This completes the second round. Continue to the third round. Start on the right side of the yarn tail. Join the yarn in the chain space. Make 3 beginning chains. Work 2 double crochets in the same position. 5 chain stitches, and 3 double crochets. Continue with 5 more chain stitches. We will consider the stitches we have crocheted as one group. This round involves repeating this group. Follow the chart to complete this round. End with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. Cut the yarn. Place the chain braid at the back. This completes the third round. Finally, crochet the fourth round. This round needs to be joined with motif 2. For the sample, start with the first motif 3 from the right side of the short edge. The specific starting position can also be determined based on your preference by referring to the chart. Join the yarn with a slip stitch in the left stitch of the previous round. Start with 1 chain stitch. Crochet 1 single crochet in the same position. Crochet 3 double crochets in the left chain space. Then, crochet 5 treble crochets. And 3 double crochets. The stitches worked in this space will form one corner of this round. Continue by working 1 single crochet in the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets from the previous round. Then, in the space of the CH3 picket in the second round, crochet 2 double crochets. As you crochet, wrap the chain braid from the previous round into these stitches. Continue by working 3 treble crochets. And 2 double crochets in the same space. Then, work 1 single crochet, in the middle stitch of the 3 double crochets on the left side. We will treat these 2 single crochets and the stitch in between as one side of this round. Continue by making one corner, which means working 3 double crochets. And 5 treble crochets. Followed by 3 more double crochets in the chain space. Continue with one side, which is 1 single crochet. Pay attention to the insertion position in the hole formed by ch3 picket stitches from round 2, and in the chain space from the previous round. Work 2 double crochets. Three treble crochets. And 2 more double crochets. Continue with 1 single crochet. Here, we have already completed 2 corners and 2 sides. The next corner needs to be connected to Motif 2. Take out a Motif 2. And position it correctly according to the chart. Place a stitch marker on the 14th double crochet from the right along the curved edge. Mark this stitch with a stitch marker. Start working the corner on Motif 3. After completing the 3rd treble crochet, stretch the loop and remove the hook. Insert the hook from the right side into the marked stitch on Motif 2. Draw the loop through. Continue working the corner in the chain space. This connects the corner position. Continue working along the edge. After completing the first treble crochet, remove the hook. From the previous joining point on motif 2, move right by 5 stitches. Insert the hook into the stitch and draw the loop through. Continue working along this edge. This completes the corresponding edge join. Continue working on the corner, and after completing the first treble crochet, join it with motif 2. Join at a position 5 stitches apart. Using the same method as before. Continue to complete this corner. This way, motif 3 is joined with motif 2 at 2 corners and 1 edge. Continue working on another edge. Completing it with single crochets as you started. Finish with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. This completes the 4th round. The first motif 3 is also completed and joined with the corresponding motif 2. Now, let's work on the second motif 3. The first 3 rounds are crocheted using the same technique as the first motif 3, but with different color schemes. Please refer to the chart for details. The sample swatch here has been pre-crocheted without changing colors. The colors are random. Now, let's crochet the 4th round and join it with the first motif 3. First, crochet 2 corners and 2 sides. After completing this, in the next corner, finish the 3rd treble crochet, TR. Remove the hook. Find the 2 unjoined corners of the first motif 3. Insert the hook into the 2nd treble crochet stitch from the right on the bottom corner. Draw the loop through. Join them together. Continue to complete this corner. Then move on to crochet one side. After completing the first treble crochet, TR. Insert the hook into the middle treble crochet stitch of the first motif 3 side to join. Continue to complete the side. Then move on to the next corner. After completing the first treble crochet, TR. Join it with the last corner of the first motif 3. By inserting the hook into the second treble crochet stitch from the left. Continue to work the entire round. Cut the yarn. Take a look. To join 2 motif 3s, you will connect them at the corresponding corners by matching up the second and fourth treble crochets, TR. For the sides, join at the middle treble crochet stitch. For the short side, motifs 3 through 5. All follow the method used for the second motif 3. Refer to the previous demonstration to complete this. For the last motif 3 on the short side. In the final round, it needs to be joined with the previous motif 3 and also connected to another motif 2. I have already completed the first 3 rounds beforehand. Now, move on to the fourth round. Start with the first corner. After completing the third treble crochet, TR, take a motif 2. Here, I will demonstrate using a small sample. Attach it to the second double crochet, DC, from the left on the curved edge. Continue to finish this corner. Then, work along the side position. And hook at the second treble crochet, TR, position. Attach at a position 5 stitches to the right of motif 2. After completing, continue crocheting the corner position. And hook at the second treble crochet, TR, position. Attach at a position 5 stitches to the right of the right side of motif 2. After completing, continue crocheting one side. Next for the remaining 2 corners and one side. Join with the adjacent motif 3. Use the same method as before. In this sample, there are fewer motif 3s. The main demonstration focuses on the method. After completing, crochet the entire round. Cut the yarn. This completes the last motif 3. And the joining is also completed. This concludes the explanation for attaching the short side. The crocheting and joining methods for the remaining sides are the same. The number of motif 3s on the long side differs from those on the short side. Please refer to the chart to complete them. This concludes the explanation for motif 3.